It's setting all my doubts on fire. Ooh, like you won't believe it.
Welcome back, everybody. Big versus Movistar Riders was a very hectic first game, full of chaos and full of madness. But now the question remains, is Big going to close it out in 2, or are we going to watch a third while Dady and M&J on the mic as they go into the A site?
Well, flash into short, Davig. Oh, forced off, but re-peeks into it with the reflash from Mopos. Blinded, Keto still manages to eliminate him. And with the wall of smokes poised up, it gives them a chance to get this bomb down. Favored taps it first, waits to see if any nades are to come. When they don't, they deploy one of their own and they fall right back. Keto, good for another.
Keto falls, but that's only the first mark of a successful retake. There's still 4 more to go. Looking nigh impossible unless they can hit some crazy shots. Hyped gets another one, and that's pretty much them being sent packing. Crimbo just putting the icing on the cake at that point. Big, very comfortable pistol round.
Yeah, very comfortable indeed, to be honest. As soon as they were able to get the pressure piled on, get up close with those Glocks towards the A-bomb site. Obviously, the sort of first domino to fall there is that short player dropping. Second, he's gone. Everybody else is stuck behind those smokes, so bomb plant's inevitable. And then it gets a whole lot more complicated, especially without the kits and whatnot. No nays to deny it. Force Spy comes in for the second round for Movistar Riders. Some Deagles in play. A 5-7 for Davig. On the other side of things, a pretty heavy rifle setup. Hyped with that Mac 10. Not taking any chances against this Force Spy. And a fairly slow start.
Sawzall, ooh, gets caught out. Nearly had a chance to potentially be problematic there, but fortunately not. Alex and Davig kind of locked out here with their pistols, and not really a whole lot they can do. So the one thing Big has been successful at doing after sort of learning their lesson against HO2 is that they've had relatively clean starts to every game, right? I believe they had a rocky first map start, and then they were able to keep things under lock and key. Had a decent start against Movistar Riders in the previous map as well. So not really struggling in terms of first round conversions. Maybe not the best idea to lose weapons to a guy with the Deagle though.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're hunting for here, but yeah, I mean, Hyped can somewhat justify it on the basis that he's got a Mac 10, so an extra $600 will do him some favors, I guess. Second on the board, and fairly comfortably, they hold on to those 2 AKs, and they'll be up against an eco here anyway, so Hyped holding on to that Mac 10 isn't really an issue. But yeah, good start. Good start for the boys over on the big squad. Movistar Riders. Similar affair to what we saw in that first map of Inferno, just losing those opening rounds. But in the buy round, they really did sort of put their foot in the door and come in with a bit more force. This one here, just a default defense, but with no weight behind it.
Mm-hmm. This is a very popular defense called the Godspeed, my friend.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't go too well either. Mac 10's finding the lion's share of the kills, so extra cash going their way. Davig finds an AK-47, no Kevlar behind it, but still picks up a second frag, and he's got the bomb at his feet. So, to be honest, I still don't think this round's particularly in contention, but if he can position himself to find one more, then things could get interesting. Timing onto Tabson, almost. That could have been huge.
Mm-hmm.
But big take it. An expensive round, regardless.
Well, now they're going to pull out the big guns, right? Both sides are going to be fully locked and loaded. Finally, we get a chance to see those weapons out and about. I'm honestly kind of happy that Big are starting off on the T side because, you know, knowing that Movistar riders have already sort of lost that first map, I want them to have the comfort of just playing as turrets, right? Not having to do so much of the legwork in terms of thinking as far as that T side offense comes to play.
Well, they need a share of rounds here on their defense for that to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a decent job at doing damage. He spotted him.
Yeah, he spotted him through the curtains. Getting ready for.
I expect him to aggress though.
I think he was expecting a flashbang from a teammate or getting ready for a flashbang maybe, but this is a tough spot to be in. Very uncomfortable to just see these oppers staring at each other. But the T's not quite decisive on where they eventually want to go. They have a couple players acting as second prongs over towards B, though. Sawzell knows there's players coming his way. At least they've thrown out utility, but the commitment is not quite there. Bomb now collected, 50 seconds on the clock, and they haven't broken into any site whatsoever, with the exception of Tapson having crept past into Alley. He could be the difference maker here if he gets that first kill, but Alex will stop him. Davig continuing to add to the madness, but Favin and Hyped quickly responding in kind. Player off the back of the boost box. Martinez had to hit that shot. Molotov is going to deter him. Quickly tries to get Favin off the bomb, but the plant will quickly happen. Mopaz able to put 2 in the graveyard. Just comes down to Hyped on the AWP, and he has to try and fight them off, Josh.
Well, he's got the luxury of the C4 being down, so he can play off the back of it. It doesn't need to be retrieved and replanted. Timing everything, waiting for the jump up on top of the default stack. Oh, can't quite connect through the smoke, but it's only been tapped. Double dip, so Mopaz is there for him. Hyped kind of had to play the 50-50 there. Either call the bluff and don't reface or fully commit. And yeah, unfortunately, he guesses wrong. And it will allow Movistar their first on the board. A little bit scrappy. Tabson trying to get up short there. And you could see, as soon as he took contact, he wanted to fall away. He confirmed there were 3 players on the site. But that incendiary landing behind him forced him into the firefight, and his teammates had to follow up to support him. And whilst the trades were good, they just didn't go in their favor. So 3-1, and a chance for Movistar Riders to close this gap.
I mean, you've got to pat Mopaz on the back for that, right? He had such an incredible showing on the retake, quickly takes care of 2 when Big were pretty much guaranteed to secure the round if that kill, those couple of kills don't come in. Now Big sort of playing from the back burner. Not really having too much money to their names. A Galil in the hands of Favin. We've got a little bit of utility all across the board as well. Not really too many smokes. We've got a couple on Favin and Crimbo, but not really enough to try and go for fakes and everything. Gonna have to do things the old-fashioned way, an AK-47 and some good old elbow grease. And Tapson, he's been successful in penetrating Alley before, might be able to do it again.
Tabson creeping forward. We saw last round it go horribly wrong for him. This time, he hasn't made himself known, so they're approaching with the idea that he might not be there. And he is. Clean headshot onto David, gives them the man advantage. And they're going to try and press forward off of this.
Oh, Martinez, he's been largely unsuccessful in trying to get off the back of the boost box. Nade tries to follow him through as well. He's going to narrowly avoid it. Keto gets up close and personal, but Alex emerges from the elevators and is successful. Bomb now down. AWP on low HP. Hype needs to watch out for it because they've left him live for too long. Mopaz is just an absolute demon around the smoke as well. Remaining Favin all alone. He knows that he's just got to bow out of this one. What the hell is he going to do against 4?
Oh, that's so sick from Mopaz. You can't go for that boost all the time, right? It's something that very quickly becomes anticipated. But every now and again, yeah, Perfect stuff. C4 goes down, 4v4. They go for their post plants. You know one's going to be playing over towards sandbags. So getting in that boost, knowing that the sniper's likely going to be holding towards the boost box or towards heaven, yeah, gives you a really, really good off angle, and it works absolutely beautifully. So really, really solid stuff there from Mopos and Movistar Riders as a whole on the retake. Seems like they're starting to get a little bit of a grasp of things over towards this A-bomb site. And yeah, I do feel a little bit sorry for Martinez. He's had a couple of scenarios here where it's not like he's missed really routine shots, right? They're all pretty flary flicks. They're all pretty difficult ones to connect, but he's just narrowly millimeters away from sort of finding these big picks that could then lead to them sort of having a bit of a shutdown and defending the site before that bomb's planted.
To be perfectly honest, his gameplay with the AWP has also been largely one-dimensional, with the exception of one round where he actually peeked straight into scaffolding with the AWP, because look at how much space is being given to the players that are trying to creep up ramp. Normally, you don't really see anyone abandon alley to the point where someone like Tabson can creep in, just shift walk all the way, and get that far in to begin with, right? So I would have really liked to see Martinez play a much more close-up angle, or a much more aggressive approach. Wait, I'm going to have to hold that thought because Hyped is a little too far in. Favin and Hyped, they've quickly opened up the B bomb site, and with very little resources, the job has been done. Martinez and Davig, I don't even think they can have much of a conversation here. But yeah, Martinez...
And again...
He's
another round, man. It's what we've seen all day. These Tech 9s, as soon as the pace has changed, as soon as you've not got too much equipment to work with, you say, all right, we've got a couple of Galils, we've got a couple of Tech 9s, let's just send it into a site. It works. They've got the mechanical skill, they've got the aim, they've got the players to get it done. And Favin thrives in situations like that.
So many different situations where he's actually been very successful off of that. Big collecting their 4th round. Luckily for the CTs, they still get away with quite a bit of money because Martinez doesn't lose the AWP. Davig still has the M4 in his hands. And everybody else, they can either get a drop or they're self-sufficient. So, pretty decent start from Big. And yeah, I kind of want to circle back to what I was saying about Martinez earlier. You know, he's played very one-dimensionally where he quickly rotates off the back towards the boost box, which often puts him in a position where a Molotov is almost certainly going to catch him, because in this day and age, who the hell is executing without a Molotov on the boost box, right? It's just such a tricky position to manually check. You either have to come in all the way from alley and then try to take the wide step towards elevators to even try and clear it. It's just not worth it. Simple $400 solution every single round.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you're playing against a team that maybe aren't mollying it every round, right? It doesn't make any difference because Big are doing that. Every single time they've gone for the execution towards the A site, they've thrown that Molotov. So, yeah, I'd like to see him sort of learn from this and start to adapt to that, to be honest.
Ouch.
That's beautiful from Hyped. That's so sick. Martinez does actually play more of an aggressive angle, but his support's been taken care of straight away. So he's quite vulnerable here towards the sandbags.
Him playing that conservative angle actually ends up paying dividends because he's able to comfortably get a kill and retreat with Alex. What is going on here? Favin, once again, being able to open things up, but Saucel this time around will tell him to sit down. Not get away with too many shenanigans. Hyped, 1-on-2 now, has the AWP in hand. Gonna have to try and brute force this round over. There's one in connector that he now knows of, knows that there was a player behind. Generator nearly catches the elbow and knows that the final one is in connector. He's gonna try and hard clear it. He knows where Martinez is, and there's the elbow as well. Hyped, what a clutch for the man. He's been largely quiet in the previous games and the previous maps, but now he's finally woken up. And that's what you love to see from him.
Yeah, is that the magic number? 3 maps under your belt and Hyped comes to life? 11-3 is currently sitting. It feels like you just can't miss a shot here on Vertigo. Couple of beautiful openings there on that A-bomb site. And then to sort of circle all the way back round and end up clutching it up in the 2v1. Just perfect. Pistols to work with here around Davig's 4-stem 4.
Oh my goodness,
well, there it goes. See ya.
Yeah.
Just put him on a MAC-10. Just don't let him buy anything other than a
Yeah.
MAC-10 or a Tech 9.
What's even the
he
point
goes
of the
into like a
investment?
different mode. Honestly, he goes into a completely different mode.
Valvin,
When you
attack
put him
mode
on-
activated.
Literally, when you put him on something that's just a little more versatile, it gives you that sort of urge to just charge at them. He does so, and then he realizes that mechanically, he's very capable of just running anybody down. But yeah, I can't help but feel he sort of overthinks some of these scenarios when he's got a rifle in hand. It's beautiful, though. 6-2. Big looking commanding here on their pick of Vertigo. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It felt very stale. It felt very stagnant when they were just playing this defense on the A-bomb site. I wanted to see them go for more of the ramp control, but it's just not working for them. And in turn, the fast rotations, they've allowed them to completely give up middle. And Faven's just able to walk right through, get in on the flank. 3 kills found. Martinez, that's a crispy headshot. I might just give him a shot at this 1-on-2. Hyped in the meantime has worked the bomb all the way back around, so it will be planted on B. But Martinez, as soon as this goes down, surely has a crack at this. Is there a kit lying around, though? Because he doesn't have one currently, and that puts quite a short fuse on this round. There is. It's in CT. Yeah, he calls it off.
Yeah, he was just hoping that somebody would be playing at an aggressive enough angle for him to get that early kill, then it would warrant actually going for the retake, because once you get it down to the 1v1, anything can happen, so then it's actually worth it. But yeah, I was talking about this earlier, right? Big, if they get that 7th, they're probably good for the 8th as well, unless Martinez can really put that op to good use. It's kind of tough being in the shoes of Martinez right now, because, you know, maybe the only mistake he might be making, or I wouldn't even call it much of a mistake, just a stylistic choice that isn't working out, is that he's not very aggressively peeking into ramp, which means he's being robbed of the opportunity to potentially put down the enemy AWP player early on in the round, right? Instead, his teammates are having to trade their lives for it. Other than that, he's often either not part of the action or completely disabled by the utility that is coming his way.
Well, another quick pause. But back underway very, very swiftly. Now, with that AWP being saved, it does put a bit of a spanner in the works, because if he went for that round, died, lost it, whatever, then it would be a no-brainer to just buy a couple of pistols and not invest into this round. That AWP kind of makes you entertain the idea of maybe properly investing around it. But that's not going to be the case. They do still stay disciplined. They hold on to that sniper, but just buy the pistols around it. So it's likely going to be an 8th here for Big. Look at this. Just charging down middle. Tabson to lead the pack.
So much space being gained by the T side. They're desperately hoping that they can make those pistols work, make some space. Oh my goodness! The Eagles are all coming together. Hype is able to nip the damage in the bud, but Saucel will quickly bring it all back. Keto now in a 1-on-4. What the hell can he do against the damage that has been inflicted upon his team? Bomb out in the open. There's a player right next to him in connector as well. And this is too much of a tall ask. Keto peeks out, just being waited upon by Saucel. And I don't think either of us expected these Deagles to work out the way they did.
Oh, no way. I mean, imagine being in Keto's shoes there. You've got this pincer, you've got 4 players charging up middle, you're going for somewhat of a B split, and you're just coming upstairs in case anyone tries to go for that aggressive stairs control. You don't want to be caught out while trying to plant the bomb. And they all just die. And Kizo's just there, scratching his head, going, guys? Meine Freundin? Hello? Where is everybody? And he's all by himself. That is rough. That is not a round you want to be losing. And, I mean, to be honest, you don't want to be losing any round, but that's definitely not a round that they should be losing. Hyped?
I like this from Martinez. Gets a little bit more aggressive. Wants to make sure that the enemy AWP knows who's boss. Knows that he can't get too comfortable with picking off his teammates like cannon fodder. Martinez now wanting to dominate ramp. And this is going to dissuade the T's from pushing in any further. Gonna have to be very meticulous with their utility usage. They're worried about running into an AWP. Crimbo mostly just acting as a faker here as they start to route their efforts towards the B site, Josh.
Well, a man down, but still all the firepower to work with. Double AWP setup on the other side, though. Hype's definitely got his work cut out for him. It's not been too much of a problem for him so far. With the smokes raining over, they're ready to go for their South Salt behind the empty pillar. It doesn't look like they've got a molly for him. In fact, no, they've expended them all. There's not going to be a single Molotov to clear him here, so he could get away with a bit of damage in this one. Alex, first contact, big shot. Mopos follows up with another. South Salt caught out by Hyped, though. And actually, they bite back. C4's going to go down. A precarious retake, but one that Big could still pull off here.
Hyped has been hitting all of his shots, and he's going to have to hit some more. Now that they get ready to come around the corner, he's pre-aiming Generator with the tiniest angle possible, expecting them to potentially go wide. This smoke makes it so much harder. He's found an angle, though. Might be able to still do something about this. Nearly had the collat. But still, a valiant effort to try and keep them back. Hyped going 15-5 right now, but still having to fight very, very hard for these round wins.
Jeez, that was so close to lining up. And if they lined up, oh my god, that would have been clutch of the day from Hyped. But not quite. 7-4. Still money here for Big, though, so yeah, decent buy comes out. 4 AKs, AWP, utility on everybody as well. Leaning towards the B site again early.
Yeah, gets the drop on one, but he's so low he could easily get taken care of by Mopuz. But that's going to be out of the question because Keto will not allow them to transgress. Oh my goodness. Keto with only 4 points of health will continue to inflict terror upon the B site. Martinez and Davik, they've called it off. They know they don't have a say in this matter. They don't even have a seat at the table. They're too far.
Don't go for the exits. Oh, man. Oh, it just makes matters worse. Takes away that AWP. Davik doesn't want to make the same mistakes. He'll tuck himself in the corner. Probably live another day. But that is absolutely brutal. And yeah, Keto's entries there, just unreal. A little bit slow to the first, right? Spots the arm, but has to drop off the wood. Makes that firefight awkward. Height. What a shot. That's ridiculous. Feels like you can't miss here on Vertigo. An Orpa's playground. But yeah, Keto so quick to the second and third headshots. There is not a lot you can do if you're the Spanish squad of Movistar Riders. You just have to bow your head and say, God, Keto. This is his turf.
already in waiting. Oh my goodness, Alvik has quickly ripped him apart. They didn't have a clue where they were getting shot from. He was right above them. And now Keto and Hyped have to try and carve out a round. Keep in mind the best case
anyone
scenario.
I'd want in this situation?
Yeah, I mean the best case scenario is still an 8-7 finish for Movistar Riders on the CT side, so not quite a one-sided game just yet. They've got a minute.
I guess so. I think this is doable. Keto's still going to be fired up from that last round. Hype's just been on fire in general. My brain can't comprehend the idea of Hyped missing a shot here. As the smoke start to rain over, this could be a bit of a fake. Instead, they decide to commit to it. Martinez this time will hit the fast flick. And Keto now left in a 1v4. Taps the bomb. No one's going to aggress off of it, though. Instead, they'll just throw an incendiary. And I think at this point he realizes he might just have to cut his losses here. No chance to go back and retrieve that sniper, though. The flank's already in play. Headshot, maybe. There it is. Crispy. 3 to find now. And 20 seconds on the clock to do so. Looks like if he tries to plant default, there is going to be a man coming in from behind. And there it is. It's South Soul to put a 5th on the board for Movistar Riders. And, yeah, solid stuff. Everyone hitting their shots. No one doing anything too flashy. But the Riders are back to winning ways.
I'm actually very scared for Big right now because even though they're leading in terms of a scoreline, they've relied so much on these individuals to shine, you know? Hyped had some crazy rounds with the AWP. Favin brute forced a few rounds with a Tech 9 or like a mid push or something along those lines. So if they're relying on so many of these things, so many of the stars aligning for them basically, I don't really know if that's going to be sustainable. But sustainability is not what they're after. They just need to do enough to get past this map, and it's a 2-0. Davig spraying blindly in the scaffolding and does manage to do a little bit of damage. Martinez, the pressure is on him. He's got to try and out often as the Molotov comes his way. He's stuck now. He's useless unless he peeks out. And the nades are going to continue to rain down upon him as well. He just needs to buy time. Hyped gets Dalvig. Martinez, they know he's still there, but Alex is trying to buy time, buy some space for him to come out. Crimbo, in the meantime, is tunnel vision. Tries to focus on Saucel, but Martinez finally taken care of. Mopaz, though, he's the man that has often gotten it done with multi-kills. He gets one. And now a chance to get a 1v2 again. Spots the head, but the AWP is waiting. Few kills from Crimbo, but very important ones.
That's so big from Favin as well there to find those 2 kills. Not only trading out his teammate on the player, just swinging out in the open on Crane, but actually transferring onto the sandbags man that they knew was there, but he'd been such a menace. It makes all the difference finding that kill. Makes the round winnable once again. Perfect stuff. It merits them 9, so a half that will lean in their favor regardless of the outcome of round number 15. But if they win it, then double digits on the cards as Tabson tries to press forward for the entry.
Crimbo. Ooh, he spots one, but he's tunnel vision on elevator. Doesn't spot the shadow that is emerging from, or the outline that's emerging from the smoke. Continues to be a chaotic game. Martinez, he's been bought down to just the MP9. Tapson quickly getting exploratory here in the A site. Hyped. Wanting to hard clear some of these angles, wants to get aggressive in elevators. Just a matter of time before one of these duels starts to culminate. Doesn't quite know when it's going to be the case. Smoke buys them some mobility to try and get the bomb down. They know there's a player in CT. Tapson wanting to push forward. Don't quite know what weapon is there on the other side. Martinez, that nade seems harder. Doesn't connect the shot. And Hyped. Now in a 1-on-3 against players who have the perfect weaponry to deal with a man who is low on HP. This will be next to impossible.
Yeah, surely no way Hyped gets away with this. And well, that's exactly it. With Mopaz on the flank, no hope in hell. 9-6 the half will go. As Movistar Riders, I mean, they recover it to some degree. It's not their map pick, and they're down in the series, so you've kind of got to give them credit where credit's due. But there's a lot of work to be done. They're a map down, and they need to claw this one back and then take it to a third and take that one too. So stick around, folks. We're going to have a very short break. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
To understand, for the better. The weather changes when we dance, belong together. Catching sunsets, riding waves, we stay forever. Where the rhythm never ends. 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 Show me love, taking this pure heart of mine, high above, we go off in the night, we leave in the red lights, man, let them need, you can see right, we go long.
Welcome back, everyone. We're heading straight into the second half of Big versus Movistar Riders. Now Movistar have the pressure of the T side on their shoulders. How is this one going to unfold?
Well, we'll have to see. Kevlar heavy setup here for Movistar Riders as they press into middle. No util whatsoever. They want to get this done with firepower, and it's not going too well for them so far. Tapson and Faven just mowing them down. They walk right into the blender. Alex is good for one, but it's clean on the rest. As Big put themselves onto double digits, no trouble at all. You know, man, I thought you were going to give us the Garage DJ intro again. I thought it was going to be Waldea T and Josh on a mic, you know?
Gonna have to buy a, you know, I'm gonna have to buy a turntable for that. But you only get that intro once every map, not on every halftime, man. Come on, it's a little too corny
fine.
then.
Fine, I'll allow it. The Riders gonna allow this one to go the other way as well. Just Glocks invested. Remember, they only got one kill. They got no bomb plant. There's really no justification to go for a force buy here. So A freebie should be bigs for the taking. Damage control important. Try not to take too many casualties. And there we go. Crimbo comes in for the support. And another just clean sweep.
Yeah, that was
no
a little
trouble at all.
personal from Faven, you know? Like, actually just pulling out the P2K and finishing the job.
Yeah.
Not even waiting for the reload. 11-6 now, though. Movistar Riders staring down the barrel of economic collapse and potentially a 2-0 exit from the tournament again. Or at least a loss again, not a tournament exit.
No, this would be.
No, I meant to say it wouldn't be a tournament exit again. It would just be one tournament exit and 2 losses.
Ah,
God, I'm bad at grammar.
okay. Fine.
Need to retool my
It's all right.
English, honestly.
Now you get a free pass.
Do I?
Yeah, you
I
get.
guess
like,
I can still
one
get
a
away
day.
with. Yeah, I guess I can kind of still get away with the non-native English speaker thing.
I get away with it because I'm just stupid.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, see, I get the stupid pass.
You just show people your IQ test, say you failed.
Yeah, see? And then they feel sorry for you.
Mm.
Give you cookies. Oh, here we go. AK is about to press forward. Still a bit of a bonus in play here for Big with the double MP9 setup. Crimbo taking a bit of ground over towards ramp, though, and Keto says, I don't care that I've only got an MP9. I'm still going to put it to good use, and he does. Man advantage actually reels in the A defenders. Instead of pressing for that info, they fall right back. They've got the man advantage. They can play the trading game. They can turtle up on this bomb site. That's exactly what they're going to do. A rotation coming over as well to support them.
Tabson very comfortably peeking out. Yeah, he is making it look like
Oh,
it's
wow.
a firing gallery. Just playing deathmatch, nice and easy. Headshot only mode. I mean, what can you even do when you're faced up against a player that has that much confidence in their aim peeking out? You can kind of see that the wind in the sails of Movistar Riders has died down. They know that they've already lost a map. They're playing big as map pig. They're on the T side. They're on a 6-round deficit. They have no money. All of these things just combine, like creating a domino effect of losing all of your morale.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really feels like there's no silver linings here. In these last couple of rounds, nothing to boost their morale, boost their confidence at all. And it looks like this round's going to follow the same theme. Tabson mows down Davik before he even gets to see anyone. It looks like Crimbo's going to do the same thing on the double. And yep, if you're talking about morale crushers, this is it. Once again, 3 rounds on the trot where Movistar Riders haven't even come close to a bomb site. Not a single point of damage dealt that round. And that was a half buy, right? They had Tech 9s, they had armor. You're expecting something. You're expecting a couple of kills. You're expecting a bomb plant. They got absolutely 0.
Final chance, final hurrah, potentially, before Big are allowed to comfortably trot over to the match point. Tabson has a Molotov ready. Up close. Ooh, he doesn't expect the player to be that close on Sandbag. Crimbo trying to peek out. Molotov overwhelmed every single time. You look at the CTs, it's just bullets coming their way. But now Hyped wants to chime in, misses the first shot, still wants to be useful, but the nades, the bullets, they're all chasing him down to the elevators.
Oh, yikes. CT's tried to go for the same setup as last time. And it seems like the Riders have learnt from their mistakes. Ready for each gunfight as it comes, and they win it. With absolute class and absolute precision. Keto and Hyped, no choice but to save, regardless of the fact they've got enough money to buy into the next. It would just be foolish to throw yourself at this one. Regardless, the scoreline still sits 13-7 with a map in hand. Big, still looking like the hot favourites to close this. They're just going to have to do it at another time. This round here is in the wind. And they'll have another crack here in the next.
Not really too many lifelines remaining here. But still, they've not been bogged down by the thoughts just yet. I don't know, I would have really liked to see Movistar Riders maybe take a timeout or something, you know, pace themselves a little bit more. How many timeouts do they have? Have they used any just yet?
I think they used one. I think the other timeout was like a very short tech, so I think they've only used one.
Well, Star Riders now quickly trying to make their way up. Alex navigates around the smoke, straight into the crosshairs of Hyped. Captain is trying to fight back, but Davik is a little too quick on the crosshair. Crimbo knows there's a player stuck in the corner, needs to only tag him with one bullet, and it would be over, but Davik's able to navigate out. Martinez now tasked with the responsibility of collecting the opener. None of the CT being cavalier enough to peek. Martinez missing a very crucial shot. Now his op is known, one of his teammates is low, and they're going to have to brute force into a site with very few resources. Just realistically, just a smoke and a molly.
Well, 3v3. Davik low on health. Martinez creeping in. Timing's important. Faven crispier, though, and quicker to the trigger. Southsoul comes to join his teammate, but now at a man disadvantage. C4 still got to be retrieved, but it's safe. They can grab it. It's no problem. He comes far too late. Crimbo in on the flank and just not anticipated at all. Pulls the trigger, but doesn't overstep, doesn't overstay his welcome. Southsoul can bite back, but tagged down in the process and knows that he has got so much to do here as he gets tagged up further. Two still to find. Crimbo gets toasty toes in the mollies, has to fall back, give Southsoul a little bit of space for him to isolate this fight. But in the meantime, Crimbo comes back around, puts 14 on the board here for Big, as they now rock double their opponent's round count, and they're 2 rounds away from closing out this series.
Again, just trying to brute force ramp. Alex, he's being a little too overwhelmed by the Molotov here, but at least he's been able to move his way towards the right. Nade lands right next to him, but doesn't quite explode him because he's obscured by the wall. But still a net advantage for the T's early on.
Southsoul boosted up. Picks into the head angle, no one's home. Spots the head before he tucks back down, I think. There we go, sees it again, but gives Keto far too much time to position his crosshair and react. Davik starts to work up, anticipates the boost himself, and that's beautiful. That's the first time Big have gone for that as well, and Davik's still ready and waiting for it.
You love to see it, the attention to detail, even when the odds are stacked against you. Faven and Hyped, they want to stay far away from this. They recognize that they probably don't have much of an in this game, in this round, so just gonna want to sit back, just want to take that AWP into the next round, maybe that M4 as well. And Movistar, yeah, they should be making it to the 8th.
Well, little by little. Play it a round at a time, and it's a whole lot more palatable to get this comeback rolling. Still feels like a long way for them to go. Their confidence has certainly got to be knocked. But rounds like this are just brilliant. A couple of the players that really shone earlier on, Keto, Tabson. Crimbo as well, just having a bit of a slow one here. So move into round number 23. Big still with the weaponry behind them, so still a chance to put their 15th on the board. Map and series point could be on the cards here in round number 25. Not 25, sorry, bad maths, 23. See if the Riders can do anything about it.
Davik is going to be coaxed out of his position because there's a molly at his feet. In the meantime, the Movistar Riders, I think they might be cooking up the main course over on B. Keto wanting to get close, wanting to make himself familiar with the enemy. In the meantime, Hyped, he's gotten a kill on his own bomb sites. Zozzle's done some damage as well in reverse, so pretty even Steven scoreline so far as this round goes.
Yeah, good little opening trades, but again, it's nothing that sort of opens up any major piece of map control or anything like that. It's just those early prods. Less than a minute on this clock, though, and the Riders start to regroup and head over towards this A-bomb site. Orp been dropped, and doesn't look like anyone wants to grab it, so it's going to be the 5-rifle setup as they start to work their way up. Tabson behind the sandbags. Molly surely about to come his way. No, they decide to deploy it elsewhere, and he's able to bounce. Good for one, but Hype takes another, keeps the numbers in their favor.
Crimbo's going to be the big difference maker as they start to move in. Headshots one through the wall. Now he's so low that he can't really realistically defend Alex very much. Nades coming their way. Saucel has still managed to survive. But this is going to be a difficult retake to defend from for the T's.
He's also aware that Hyped might be close. If Hype knew just how low he was, he'd have his pistol out right now. But the Orc wants to use it like a shotgun. Alex's timing's perfect. The spray transfer so crisp. And it brings it into a 2-on-1. The bomb already halfway ticked. Hyped. Still scoped in. Doesn't want to make a sound, but he's taken too long. He knows that this one's gone. And Movistar Riders, how the hell do they pull that out the bag?
That was such a difficult retake that they had to deal with. But Alex, in the midst of the madness, he's able to find a window of time where he can quickly wrap behind them from the elevators. That is beautiful footwork. Oh, that is... that could have been the closer for Big, to be honest, and the fact that they've sort of been brought down now just to the pistols, it'll be rough. That allows Movistar Riders to go down to double digits and then potentially lead up to a couple more rounds off the back of that. So kind of starting to build themselves a bit of a ramp right now, just building that momentum up, not really quitting right now. Not bowing out of this one just yet. Martinez, though, flirting with fire. Kind of still a doable round, though, Josh.
Absolutely. Martinez low. Tabson on the CZ. He's got Kevlar behind him as well. So, yeah, I was just about to say, once he finds a weapon, he's got some teeth behind him. Unfortunately for him, it's a Mac 10, but... I don't know if that's really too much of a contingency. He's been pretty good with these SMGs throughout the game so far. And with Martinez being so low on health, a Mac 10 isn't too problematic. So they start to regroup and work their way towards A. It really depends on how early they're spotted, right? If they take the duel with Tabson and no rotation started to come through yet, then maybe they're in a bit of trouble. But Crimbo's already there with him. And they're playing a very bizarre angle here on the boost.
Just a matter of pulling the trigger.
What's ahead?
The head, yeah, brings it down to the 3-on-2. Mopaz, he's gone big before. He's gonna have to do it again. Spray down commences, eventually taken down by the Mac 10. Though Saucel takes one away, realizes that he can still tuck his head and doesn't have to immediately contest Crimbo. Does Crimbo try and stick it though?
I think he does. He's got a kit, and there's no way that Saucel expects him to have a kit here. Oh, wow. That's so sick. 15 rounds as well. On a low buy like that, you just don't expect Crimbo to have a kit. He calls his bluff because he says he's tapped the bomb on a 1v1 and they had no bloody money at the start of this round. There's no way in hell that he's got a kit and that he's sticking this. But he did, and he does. So, what do you say about that? 15-9, 6 map and series points here for Big to close this one out and bag themselves a spot in the next round of this. Kick Movistar Riders out of the qualifier. And burn any chance they have of landing themselves a spot at Katowice.
Oh, Crimbo getting very dirty, very personal here with Davik. Up close. Wins out the initial duel, and already with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, they're playing off the deficit. Saucel tries to pre-fire the headshot angle. Doesn't quite end up paying any dividends just yet, but man, Movistar Riders, they were kind of destined to head on over to that 11th round, you know, beat that low buy, get to the 11th round, maybe build off the back of it. But Big, they've carved themselves such a nice advantage here. Keto, quick defensive smoke to try and make himself more relevant to the duel, switches around, bomb dropped in the open as well. Martinez is trying to fight back. Crimbo is responsible for stopping the crossover into the bomb site, and it's a 2-on-3. Very difficult stuff for the T's. Mopaz with a beautiful shot onto Crimbo, and they're still fighting. They're still getting very angry right now. Mopaz with 6 points of health, still wanting to claw his way back into it, tries to pre-fire. Hype just waiting on the angle, though, has missed his shot. Pull out your pistol if you know how much HP there is, but he doesn't need to. He's got the op, and he closes it out with just the AWP. Doesn't matter if he's up against low B. Oh my goodness, Josh, that is just... What again? How